Good morning. Wow. It is just such a pleasure to see so many of you here. Those of you who are returning, we haven't seen for some time. We're very blessed to have you here. Those of you who recently joined our community, we're so happy to have you. The energy you're creating is just wonderful. And thank you for those online too. So my name is Zelda Benson, and I'm on your board. Just to give a couple quick announcements, if you haven't already taken the opportunity, please silence your cell phones. We would appreciate that. So we are very honored to welcome back Swami Brahmananda. He has... A challenge to say the whole name because we know him by Brahms. That's like a lullaby that he is for all of us. We look forward to his words today. And this afternoon, there's going to be a workshop from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. This will be a time of great visioning for ourselves, for our world, and for Unity of Tustin. This is an optional love offering event, and we encourage everyone to please attend. Our musical guest today is Nick Young. You've all heard a sampling of his. So delightful. His spiritual practice comes through music, and that's the source for him. And it's just delightful already hearing what you have to offer us today, and how great that the two of you would be here today and join in this. We appreciate that very much. On August 10th, we'll be having our annual Unity's Got Talent. How many of you have been there before? Raise your hands. Great, fun event. It'll be on the 10th at 1 o'clock, and this is an opportunity for all of you to showcase your talents. That can be poem reading, that can be dance if you'd like, that can be, playing an instrument, that can be whatever you want to call it. Very diverse talents, and we want you to share them with all of us in the community. There's a sign-up sheet at the welcome table, and today's the last day for sign-ups. So even if you're, still a little hesitant, sign up and meet with Carol and see if you can come together with something that would be wonderful. And I'm wearing my hospitality apron to give a little shameless plug for hospitality. Our cupboards are getting just a little bit bare, so if any of you would like to bring something, meals to put in the freezer for us to use, or chips, or bring something the day of that you've prepared, we'd really appreciate it. So thank you for all. It just always seems to magically appear, doesn't it? So your help is part of that. So thank you, and let's begin with our congregational song. I will turn it over to Nick.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to sing this song. I wrote this song. And I want to just kind of give you a little heads up. It's kind of a barn burner. So I want to hear you sing from deep down in this one. I'm going to say, we're going to sing together. Are you ready for love right now? And then we say, I'm ready for love. Everyone ready? Take a breath. All right, here we go. Are you ready for love right now? I'm ready for love. Are you ready for love right now? I'm ready for love. I'm in touch with my sweet spirit. Come on, people, can't you hear it? I'm ready for love. Okay, now we're gonna sing, are you ready for joy? Are you ready for joy right now? I'm ready for joy. Are you ready for joy right now? I'm ready for joy. I'm in touch with my sweet spirit. Come on, people, can't you hear it? I'm ready for joy. How about peace? Are you ready for peace right now? I'm ready for peace. Let me hear you. Are you ready for peace right now? I'm ready for peace. I'm in touch with my sweet spirit. Come on, people, can't you hear it? I'm ready for peace. Love. Are you ready for love right now? I'm ready for love. Are you ready for love right now? I'm ready for love. I'm in touch with my sweet spirit. Come on, people, can't you hear it? I'm ready, I'm ready for love. Say it again. I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready for love. One more time. I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready for love. Woo, yes we are.
Good morning. So are you ready for love, peace, and joy? Goodness. My name is John Claude Pinto, and I'm a prayer chaplain Unity of Tustin. As a prayer chaplain, get the honor to read the daily word and light the Christ candle. And we light the Christ candle to remind us of that Christ consciousness within each one of us. And I'm going to use the words that Brahms used yesterday. He said, our hearts are connected to that divine consciousness. I felt a sense of solidarity when he used this, and I said, oh, we feel as united as one. And so that's when you see me light the Christ, can know that consciousness is within all of us. And the daily word today is authentic. And the affirmation, I live proudly as my authentic self. Okay. And the scriptural text is from Romans 8:14. For all who are led by the Spirit of God are children of God. Again, I'll read that again. For all who are led by the Spirit of God are children of God. Don't we know it? Okay. One of the best ways to feel the fullness of my divinity is to express the uniqueness of my humanity. There's no one on earth who is exactly like me, no one who has my history and experiences, no one who has my particular talents and gifts. I make the world a richer place when I show up as the person I am. If I'm too timid to share my gifts, if I carry shame or regret about my past, or if I feel afraid to let others see the real me, I'm not being my authentic self. Authenticity means being who I am with confidence. I'm a divine being, a child of God. I take my place in the world with joy, knowing I belong here just as much as everyone else. Rooted in my divinity, I celebrate my humanity by being my authentic self. So I'll say the affirmation and then we'll say it together. I live proudly as my authentic self. Together. I live proudly as my authentic self. And I invite Reverend Shada to the opening prayer. Thank you.
Good morning, family. Yeah. Happy Sunday, Unity of Tustin. Happy Sunday, everyone online. And wow, did we have a really special day yesterday. You know, as we know, our motto, our heart says, one God, one heart, many paths. And yesterday we were blessed with a Christian, St. Francis loving, Indian lineage holder who looks like Santa Claus. Swami Brahmananda, Brahms, David Now. Makes sense there are a lot of names, lots of traditions, because there's a lot of richness, a lot of points of view, and they all come together, really saying the same thing, the same soul, the same heart, the same oneness. And we were blessed yesterday by Brahms to have our Shakti activated, to have our Kundalini come alive. And that's also having the Holy Spirit descend upon us or go into the very building blocks of creation where when two or more are gathered in my name, there I am, the Christ, that living love. So what I'd like to do today for our opening prayer is to go into that space and start with the field activated with our awareness of this living love. Carl Jung would like to say, called or uncalled, God is always present. No. Conscious or unconscious, God is always present. So what we can do with our divine will is choose to be conscious, choose to call God in, and choose to activate that love and our living connection with that love so we can be sourced and be that love in the world. So I invite everyone now to take a moment and close your eyes and take a deep breath and breathe in that field. We come together because we have this beautiful human need to be in relationship, to be the Christ, to be the living love, to be the holy divinity, the mystery, and to bring that forward. And right there is the mini depth of ego, without even trying, because we say yes to that is beyond understanding. I am the living love. I am the holy miracle in relationship with you, with us, and with the world. And we come here together to activate it in ever deeper ways so that it becomes the center of gravity of who we are. And when we forget, that's the metanoia. We repent. We turn our consciousness back towards the eternal holiness that always is. And we pray it can become the solid state background that informs our beingness in every moment. Now let's take another deep breath in. The intention to hold on to it as it comes and goes and release it with the breath. And really enjoy today the evolutionary Santa Claus who brings us the present of presence, the present of being the love that we are. And we are so grateful. I am so grateful to have this experience to be in relationship with one of the lineage holders of this community. And it brings back another dimension of love that we now can all carry forward in a deeper way. So let's hear a wonderful song from Nick Young, and then we will turn it over to David now. And please join us for the visioning and meditation after service, where we can all live this in a deeper way.
My heart is open. My light shining through. I look into your eyes. I see the love in you. This heart connection we share with everyone. The world is ready. The change has now begun. The only truth is love. The only truth is love. is open. My light is shining through. I look into your eyes. I see the love in you. This heart connection we share with everyone. The world is ready. The change has now begun. My heart is open. My light is shining through. I look into your eyes. I see the love in you. This heart connection we share with everyone. The world is ready. The change has now begun. The only truth is love. The only truth is love.
Namaste. I bow to the divine within you, to the divine that is you. It's time for our meditation. And before we meditated with my guru, he would always say, meditate on your own self, honor yourself, love your own being. Meditate with the awareness that the Supreme Creator, God, dwells within you as you. So, in my experience, meditation is a turning within, a gathering of our senses and our consciousness from the external world and turning all of that attention to the inner light, to the Christ within, to the God within you. Is there anyone here meditating for the first time? Oh my goodness, we've got all experienced meditators. So let's just go right into it. I'm going to guide the meditation. So get yourself nice and comfortable. Back reasonably erect. Doesn't have to be ramrod straight, but get yourself nice and comfortable, feet flat on the floor. If you'd like to cross your legs on your chair, you're welcome to do that. And begin holding the intention of turning within to the true self, to the deepest part of our being, which we call the Christ, or the Atman. So we're going to do this in stages, in layers, as it were, and I'll guide you through the process. Let's bring our awareness first to the breath. Without trying to do anything with the breath, just observing it. Witnessing that the gift of life allows us to breathe without our effort. The divine within us is the breath of life. So I invite you to just take a moment and watch the natural process of breathing. The breath comes in, there's a slight pause, and the breath goes out, and there's a pause. And this cycle goes on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the duration of life without our effort. Let's take a moment and appreciate it's the divinity, the divine Shakti breathing us as the breath of life. So we witness the breath. Becoming aware of the physical body. Noticing, where am I feeling sensation in the physical body? Notice that I can actually observe the body, the sensations. How are you feeling in the body in this moment? What sensations are present? When I invite you to look at the body, where does your mind go? Notice that you're able to observe that I have a body. Not that I am a body. See if you can observe your body as an object of perception. I have a body with sensations. Can you feel that? Now let's go a little deeper within. What are you feeling in this moment? Are there any emotions present? Any feelings? Notice that you have the capacity to observe those feelings. You have feelings, but you're the witness of these feelings, the subject. The feelings are the object of your perception. Shifting your awareness now to the mind. Gently observing the state of your mind. Is it quiet? Are there thoughts? Are the thoughts arising spontaneously? Or am I thinking? Notice that you have the capacity to observe your thoughts as objects of perception. The inner self, the Christ, is the observer of all of this. Bringing your awareness now to the heart. By the heart, I mean the center, the core of your being, beyond thought. You may experience your awareness dropping from the head to the heart, to the very center. And as we begin our meditation, I'm going to invite you to join our hearts. Have the simple intention to join in the one heart that we share. And we can claim the promise that where two or more are gathered in my name, in my consciousness, there I am in the midst. So in the midst of this sacred circle is the presence of the living Christ. And in the center is the divine presence within each of us. So we join consciously and intentionally into the awareness of the living Christ, which is surely present. We call this presence the Atman, the inner self. It's pure consciousness, the witness of the mind, described in many ways. It's the deepest part of you. It's the true, unchanging you, without thought. Simple awareness that I am. I exist. And if you really examine your experience, that awareness that I am has been with us since birth. Our bodies have changed. Our mind has changed. Our belief systems have changed. Our bodies, everything has changed. But aren't you still you? Aren't you still the same I am? I invite you to feel into that. Let the mind become quiet, and we'll sit for a few minutes in the stillness, in the awareness I am. I exist. It's an awareness that needs no words. Just rest in the awareness that I am that. I and the Father are one. God dwells within me as me, and I am that. Tattvam asi. Once again, bringing your awareness to the breath. And as we begin the journey back to the regular waking state of consciousness, I invite you to hold on to this inner awareness. It's not either or. We're not either inside or outside. We're both and. We can remain aware of our inner reality, of our inner truth, and bring that with us into the world. So as you come back, hold on to the awareness of your own being and see if you can simultaneously be aware of your inner consciousness as you begin to activate the body, moving your fingers and toes. If you'd like to, you can rub your fingers together and use the warmth to cover your eyes. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes with the awareness that everything that you see is an expression of your own being, that everything is consciousness. God bless.
The sun is rising on your life now. The sun is shining on the people you love. There's never been a better day, so take a breath and with me say, I love you. I love you. I love you, and I love me too. Love is flowing into your heart now, circulating to all the people you love. The world is a better place when you open your heart. I love you, say it with me. I love you. I love flowing into your heart now, circulating to all the people you love. Giving is receiving, living is believing. Say it now. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I love me too. The sun is rising on your life now. The sun is shining on the people you love. There's never been a better day, so take a breath with me, say, I love you. I love you. I love you. And I love me too.
It's so exciting to be back at my spiritual home. Yeah, just to see so many friends from so long ago, people that were here at our God Realization Ministries inception back in 1995. Can you imagine? The church was less than half the size. There was no parking lot, no gardens, just old orange grove. We couldn't even eat the fruit, they were so old, you know. So, wow, the church has grown so beautifully. What a wonderful community. And I feel so loved and so welcome. I'm almost overwhelmed to give a talk. So let me just share some stories, some experiences I had with my guru. You know, it was really such an important time in my life. He told so many stories, and I had so many experiences living with him. I lived with him from 1975 to 1983 during his passing, and I see some of you here from that time period. So really interesting that people from, yes, way back. Wow. So one of the stories that my Baba used to love to tell was the story of a seeker who was in maybe his late teens, and he was really interested in Eastern spirituality. He was living in India, of course, was interested. And he wanted to know the highest truth. So he was reading all the spiritual literature, all the scriptures from Vedanta and Kashmir Shaivism and the Yoga Sutras. And after reading everything, he decided he really wanted to meet a guru that could give him the highest truth. That was his passion. What was the highest truth was his quest. So he heard about a guru that lived in a little town in Rishikesh, and got an introduction to go meet the guru, and was brought before him, and he presented his question. Oh, Guruji, what's the highest truth? I've been reading all the different literature. What's the highest truth? And the guru looked at him and said, Tattvam asi. Thou art that. God dwells within you as you. And the seeker had already read that. And so he said, thank you very much. And he went on his way. So then he had to go to Varanasi, to another town. Another guru was there. And it was the same scenario. He was brought before the guru and asked the question, what's the highest truth? And the guru looked at him and said, Tattvamasi, God dwells within you as you. You are that consciousness. And the young man said, I've heard that before. That's very interesting. And he went on his way. So this continued for a number of years, go from ashram to ashram, guru to guru. Finally, he came to the ashram of a great siddha living in Ganeshpuri. And the guru, when he was asked the question about what is the highest truth, he said, the guru asked him where he had been. Have you been to this, that? And so he knew that the young man had already received the highest teaching. So when he was asked the question, what's the highest teaching? He said, well, it's very high. It's very lofty. It's very valuable, and we don't just give it away. You'll have to serve me for 12 years. So I want you to report to the Seva manager, and you'll work in the cow shed and pick up dung for 12 years. And at the end of 12 years, I'll teach you, give you the highest truth. Oh, wow, he was so excited. He was finally going to get the highest truth. So he did. He lived in the ashram 12 years. Every morning at 4 a.m. he was shoveling shit, the cow shed. But he was also meditating and hearing the talks and reading the scriptures. Was really doing sadhana, doing spiritual practice. So 12 years went by. At the end of 12 years, he was so excited, going to finally hear the highest truth. And so he presented himself. Guruji, I've served you now for 12 years, please. What's the highest truth? And you can guess the answer. Tattvamasi, thou art that. And the disciple was like, oh, I heard that 12 years ago. Why did I have to pick up cow dung for 12 years? And the guru looked at him and said, my son, the truth hasn't changed in the last 12 years. You are that. Tattvamasi. But this time, he awakened. He got it. Because he was ready to hear it. So this is in the tradition, the Indian tradition. They will always give you the highest teaching at the beginning. And then, depending on our level, the guru will give you a sadhana to do in order to be ready to recognize. Because the divinity already dwells within us. We are already that, but we have limiting beliefs and conditioning and resistance to the truth. So sadhana isn't about getting something. We don't get the self. We let go of what we're not. And the different gurus have many different tricks in their bag to get us ready to simply recognize what's already there. So, Tattvamasi, are you ready? Ready to just receive that? Yes. So I lived with my guru for maybe 8 years or so until he left his body. And it was really an amazing time. First couple of years, I would say, were just absolute bliss. I received Shaktipat. Meditation came easily. I was in ecstasy pretty much all the time. I loved doing the meditation and the chanting and the courses and all of that, and my life was set. One day my Baba came in and said, I want you to work in the kitchen from now on. And the people who worked in the kitchen, we had a big ashram, a couple thousand people were living there. You had to get up at 3 a.m. to chop vegetables, and you worked till 8 at night preparing the meals, and you didn't meditate, and you didn't chant, and you couldn't listen to the talks. You were just doing that. And so, well, I really wasn't interested in that kind of sadhana, but I was surrendered enough to know that there was really some lesson in this. So I reported to the kitchen 3 a.m. the next morning and began chopping. And I wasn't really very good at it. I'm the oldest of 13, and I have 10 sisters, and they always took care of the things in the kitchen. So I never really even been in the kitchen. But here I was chopping vegetables and resisting it a little bit. I really wanted to meditate. In fact, I'd sneak away sometimes and meditate, and during my breaks I would read books and all of that, and I wasn't very good. And I remember one time we were chopping fruit salad, and I nipped a piece of my finger off, right? And they put a big Band-Aid on it, but I had to keep chopping. And so Baba came in while we were fixing up the fruit salad. He said, I want you to mix the salad. Now, usually the way we mixed the salad in those days was going into it. And I was like, oh my God. And sure enough, I'm mixing the salad. And the Band-Aid comes off, I'm like mortified. I'm just sharing you with it to let you know I was really not very good at what I was doing, right? And so this one particular day, Baba came in and we were preparing the dinner, and we were chopping cucumbers. And I was, just chopping. And he took the knife out of my hand, and he took the cucumbers, about half a cucumber left. And he said, let me show you how to chop. And he was done in a fraction It seemed like a fraction of a second. I never saw anybody move that quickly. And each piece was cut perfectly, the right size, the right shape, and it was done in an instant. And he looked at me and he said, there's 30 pieces there. Count them. There's a whole big group of people watching. When Baba would come to the kitchen, everybody was there watching. So I counted the pieces. There was only 27. So I was in a dilemma. Do I tell the truth or do I tell him that there's 30? I decided to tell him the truth. I said, Baba, there's only 27 pieces here. And he laughed. He said, turn the knife over. Flip the knife, 3 pieces. So exactly 30. And he said, that's meditation. I want you to learn to chop like that. That's your practice. That's your meditation. So that's what I did. For the next, I would say, 6 or 8 months, all I did. No meditation, no scriptures, no talks, nothing. Just chop vegetables, chop vegetables. And I became pretty good at it. You know, I had a whole team of people peeling bananas and things for me to keep up so I could chop. And I remember this one morning we were chopping bananas. And there's a team of people peeling the bananas. I'm just chop, 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 chop. And it was as if time stood still. Somehow in the moment, I could see I see heads nodding. You probably had this experience. I could see every chop. The room was filled with light. And I was just filled with ecstasy. And at that very moment, there was a little knock on the door, and Baba poked his head in and said, Brahms, you're done. You know, you're done in the kitchen. I want you to go teach now. And that was my initiation into teaching. From then on, the next day I was the master of ceremonies at his program and teaching and leading intensives and all sorts of things. So the point of the story is that meditation, true meditation, is a one-pointed flow of concentration in whatever you're doing. And that you don't have to leave your regular family life or go live in a cave. Whatever your work is, do it with one-pointed devotion, and that's the true meditation. And we're all placed exactly where we need to be in order to know the self, to know God. So whether we're married or single or we're lawyers or doctors or cooks, whatever, that's the perfect place for you to realize the self. You know, people often, after they get Shaktipat, many of them come say, I want to go live in an ashram, I want to go away, I want to give up my life. And if you're called to do that, that's appropriate. But for most of us, it's living the life that we're presently living, bringing meditation, awareness of our own divinity into our life, into our work. That's the perfect place. So your home becomes an ashram. Your work becomes selfless service. If you do it with the right understanding, every work is a form of karma yoga, a path to realize the self through your work. So meditation, doing the work that you're doing, all of those things help us to realize the divinity that's already within us. And we recognize that when we're ready. And the next sort of stage in the sadhana, in the practice, is to not only recognize the divinity within your own being, but to see God in everyone and in everything without exception. And that's the caveat, without exception. It means no grievances, no resentments, living in a state of being judgment-free, not criticizing anyone or judging anyone. I see a lot of smiles here and recognition that this is a challenge for some of us. You know, and I have to volunteer that I'm one of those. I grew up Catholic, and I was trained to find all my own faults, you know, and confess them every Saturday. And by extension, I was really good at seeing everybody else's faults, you know. Like, in fact, when I was you're raising your hand.
You can see God in starving children. How you can see God in slaughtering people.
Oh.
How you can see God.
Well, once you see God in yourself, then you'll be able to see it in others. So even a starving child has divinity within them.
Of course they do.
That's all I'm asking you to see. And please, let's not go there. We can come this afternoon. We'll discuss that at length. I've only got 20 minutes, my dear. So anyway, I was just saying that I had this sort of supernatural ability to find faults in people. To find, in fact, when I was in film school, I used to have the moviola, and I'd look at every movie and find the one fault, the one jump cut, the one mismatch. So I was really good at that. So I remember one day Baba was giving a talk about seeing God in everyone. Don't judge people. And he looked at me directly and said, don't even see faults. Right? Don't even see them. It's not like don't even see them. And so that Monday morning, I was working in New York City at the time, living in the ashram. Had my nice three-piece suit. I was raising money to drill oil wells. So I had to go to Wall Street every day, and I'd get my three-piece suit on. And I remember putting on my new Brooks Brothers suit and my Crouch and Fitzgerald bag and my new Florsheim shoes, and I was on my way to an appointment. And remembering Baba's words, see God in everyone, see God in everyone. Don't see faults in anyone. See God in people, not faults. And I was walking on the way to the subway, and just in absolute bliss. Oh, God, I see God in this person. God's everywhere. Suddenly, I see this jerk on the standing on the street corner on a soapbox saying, "The end of the world is coming. Repent." You've probably seen that, right? And so my first thought was, what a jerk. Actually, I was a little, what an asshole is what I actually said at the time, But I caught myself. I said, I'm not going to go down this path. I'm going to see God in everyone. But he was still there, and I could still see him making a complete, and there was a whole crowd of people around watching him, right? Make a complete jerk of himself, right? But I kept saying, no, I'm going to see God. And there was this inner wrestling match. Do you ever have those? Where your inner self-talk just goes back and forth. So finally I decided, won't hurt, just for a minute, I'm going to watch this guy make an asshole of himself. And just as I had that thought, I stepped in the biggest pile of dog shit I'd ever seen. And it splashed all over my new shoes. I dropped my bag, And I was like furious. I'm on the way to a really important appointment, and there's shit all over me, right? And that crowd that was watching everybody, watching that guy, they all gradually came over and left him, and I was suddenly surrounded. So it was a great lesson. It was really a great awakening that when I was seeing God in everyone and everything, wow, I was elevated. And all it took was one simple thought to drag me down. Seeing faults in another, seeing the jerk, I became the jerk, right? So understanding what I'll call your self-talk, that little voice that speaks, not intentionally, but that's always there. We notice it when we meditate. One of the great lessons that I learned in my time with Baba was to not believe that voice. A lot of us think that whatever thoughts come up, these are our true thoughts. They must be true, right? So as you continue to meditate, you begin to recognize the thoughts that are authentic thoughts that arise from our own being. The word in Sanskrit is the word pratibha. Pratibha means the divine inspiration that just wells up within us and is needing to be expressed in the universe. There's another voice which we call the Matrika Shakti, which its purpose is to delude us. That's how we keep ourselves separate. And it's based on our conditioning, our belief systems, our own critical voice. We need to learn how to discern that inner voice. Do you know that? Can you see the difference? I think the Course in Miracles describes it beautifully. It talks about the ego, the voice of the ego speaks first and loudest, and we need to let that pass and discover the still small voice inside that speaks sometimes not even in words, but in feelings, inclinations, inspirations, energy, And when we come from that place of pure inspiration, there's Shakti in our words, because it's coming from the place of God within us. Abhinava Gupta, the great Kashmiri sage, talked a bit about this. And he created this wonderful theory called Rasavada. And he talked about the nature of art, of true art. And true art is divinely inspired. It comes from an inspiration of the self. It's not just taking material and making something, but once you learn how to tap into this place and listen to this place, whatever you create carries Shakti, becomes a means of transmitting the divine experience. And for him, the measure of true art, and not just art, any work that you do, can be filled with inspiration if we come from the place of perfect stillness. We need to train ourselves to recognize that voice rather than the voice of the ego. I remember once I was on my way here from Orange County to San Diego. I was busy on the freeway. I think it's 5 freeway? Yeah, 5 freeway. And it was bumper to bumper. It was loud. I was listening to music, and a piece of music came on that I'd never heard before. It was something called The Rose by Bette Midler. And I'd never heard it before. And I'm just on my way, and I'm listening to the words, I'm listening to the music, and suddenly I'm weeping. Just absolutely weeping. I had to pull off the freeway to sit on the side of the road to listen to the end of this song. I was so moved by that. I'd never heard of it, so I read up about it. And the woman who created that, the inspiration for the song, said it was a download. She received the whole piece of music in one bit, and then had the craftsmanship, the skill to put it into a particular form, and it carried the Shakti of her original inspiration. And it was able to touch me, and I'm sure it's touched many of you. Remember my dear friend Swami Samathananda and I once went to the Getty Museum. Had a similar kind of experience where we went to the ancient Indian art collection. Anybody been there? The one on the yeah? We went in and we were looking around, and we were both at the same time drawn to this particular statue of the goddess. We just both walked over and spontaneously were inspired to put our head on the feet of the goddess, and we both did it at the same time, and the feet were completely worn away from centuries of people having that same experience of touching it and putting their heads to it. The artist who created that had a divine download, divine inspiration, and had the craftsmanship to pour it into this work of art. And that work of art then had the power of transmitting that same Shakti, that same experience, to anyone who was open to receive it. We all have this capability. Whatever your work is, meditate, quiet the mind, listen for inspiration. Through meditation, you'll be able to discern between the still small voice and the Matrika Shakti, the self-talk. It's just chatter, right? So I would encourage you to do that. If you're not already meditating, please have a daily practice. It doesn't have to be a long time. The importance is that you do it every day. So even if it's just a few minutes, meditate on your own self. Honor yourself. Love your own being. Meditate with the awareness that God dwells within you as you. So begin your day by tapping into the divinity within you. Then go about your day seeing God in everyone and everything. Can we do that? Yes. I hope we'll see you this afternoon. We're going to do a practice. Some of you may know Michael Beckwith. I knew him when he was starting out in an apartment on the bottom floor, and we invited him to teach us how to vision. How to vision. And I don't know if that's were you somewhere around when the old church was here before we built it? Yeah, just to tell you a little story in closing. We had just this tiny little church here, and none of the grounds or anything. But the church was growing, and we really thought we were going to build the next the next mega church in Orange County. Reverend Schuller was there, and his consultant was working with us, and we had architectural. Some of you, we had the architectural plans drawn up, approved by the city. Halfway through the fundraising process, so we had the money to build this big church on the lawn, when Michael sent one of his proteges down to teach us visioning. And we used that process every Sunday after our services. And visioning is asking, what's the divine plan? And we did it over a period of 6 months. We ended up not building that church. This was envisioned, the lights, the gardens that weren't there. Every stop was envisioned, the parking lot. So this is a divine process that we used here at Unity to build what was built. And it's a practice that we can use to build our own lives. So if you have an intention in your life, or you're asking for direction in terms of what should I do, or how can I do it, this visioning process will be very helpful for you. We'll also vision a little bit for the direction of the church, what's next in our journey here at Unity of Tustin. So please join us. I'm so grateful to be here. I love you all. Namaskar.
Well, thank you, Reverend Swami Brahmananda, for that wonderful talk and bringing us to the awareness of the divine that within us and how to bring that about. And we're looking forward to the talk this afternoon. Okay. And this is the time we like to welcome our first-time visitors here, and for those online, we'd like to welcome you and the new guests. We are so grateful that you have joined us today. Here at Unity of Tustin, we believe in one God, one heart, many paths, and our mission is to transform lives, inspire people to make a positive difference in the world. We are a fully inclusive community of all walks of life and would like you to know, whatever your background, and wherever you are on your spiritual path, we are glad you are here to continue your journey with us. Our ushers are coming forward with flowers and welcome cards for those who are here for the first or second time. So if you're comfortable in doing so, we invite you to raise your hand so we can recognize you and present you with these gifts of a card and a flower. So if you are here for the first time, please raise your hands, and we'd like to welcome you. Oh, welcome. Thank you. Thank you. And if those online who are here for the first time, you can send us your information, and we'll be glad to be in touch with you. We might invite everyone to join us after the service for food and fellowship around the hospitality table. And you saw Zelda with that beautiful apron that advertised that hospitality. And make sure to stop by our open door bookshop, reading room, and welcome center just around the corner. Also, as always, we have our Reiki practitioners wearing green ribbons and our prayer chaplains wearing white ribbons who will be at the entrance of the meditation gardens ready to offer prayer and healing support, and all prayers are confidential. And we love to pray with you. In addition, there are prayer request forms in the seats back in front of you and at a table at the garden's entrance where you can leave your requests at the prayer box. They will be lovingly held in prayer by our silent prayer team ministry. There's always so much happening here in our campus of consciousness. Please make sure to check your email each Friday for our weekly e-newsletter, and visit the welcome table for information about many upcoming and ongoing classes, events, and opportunities to serve as part of our beloved Unity of Tustin community. This time we receive our love offerings. Now is the time for our love offering as we share our financial gifts in support of our ministry. The various electronic ways to give here are on the screen and as listed in the card and the seat backs in front of you. We also pass the offering bags to receive an in-person donations. In whatever form that you choose to give, we invite you to briefly hold your hand over the offering bag as it passes along. Take that moment to connect with the spirit of giving. We are grateful for your faith and generosity. And now I invite Reverend Shara to do the blessings for the offering.
Thank you, John Claude. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Brahms. I really loved how you ended your talk talking about visioning being the divine plan. Because, why do we give? And we're giving in order to make manifest the divine plan. And we transcend and include. So we continue yesterday's divine plan while evolving tomorrow's divine plan. And what's needed. I loved Craig's talk last week. He talked about the foundations of what we know are changing. And what we need is the new story, the new plan. And I am always heartened because we are demonstrating that divinity. That's our sacred priority that we discerned for this year. We are doing it as fifth principle and bringing it forward. So we are giving for our own lives to participate in this community, for our community to be here for each other in the greater community, and for the future with our burgeoning youth and family life program. We are role models for the Unity movement we represent at Unity Worldwide Ministry board level, and Erin as the events director for the region. We are part of the new story. And in a recent talk, a gathering that we had, this was a prayer for silent unity that I'm going to read you now. It says, living, loving spirit through which we move and have our being. We pause in this moment to remember that we are one. One in spirit, one in purpose, one in the great calling to serve the awakening of humanity. As we move forward in this sacred work of reunification, we open our hearts and minds to divine wisdom. We trust that the same spirit that called unity into being continues to guide us now, gently, clearly, and faithfully. We bless every person who has brought us to this moment, past and present. We bless every voice in the conversation, heard and yet to be heard. We bless this process of becoming, of evolution of the new story, knowing it unfolds in divine right order. May we meet one another with courage and compassion. May we listen deeply and speak truthfully. May we honor the legacy we inherit even as we co-create what comes next. We affirm now there is only one presence and one power active in this process, in our unity movement, and in each of us, God the good, omnipotent. We give thanks as we move forward in faith. And with let us affirm together our love offering blessing. Divine love, as we blesses and multiplies all that we are, all that we have, all that we give, and all that we receive in joy. And now let us be blessed by some more beautiful emanations of Shakti from Nick Young.
Right. Thank you, Shara. So this song is honoring the Divine Mother, the actual Mother, our relationship with the divine, the complexity, the deepness, honoring the mother in ourselves, in God, in our lives. Swimming in clear water, every son and daughter, we are on a journey. I'm glad that you are near me. I'm so glad that you are the one who opened my eyes to the sun. And then you raised me up with care. Mother, you are always there. Now isn't this fun? We get to live here with everyone. And I know that when we pass away, our hearts will always stay together, together. Our hearts will be together. Thank you, Mom, for being you, with everything you had to do. In the sunlight, in the rain, through the joy, through the pain. Mother, you gave life to me. Without you, I wouldn't be. And then you raised me up with care. Mother, you are always there. Now isn't this fun? We get to live here with everyone. And I know that when we pass away, our hearts will always stay together, together. Our hearts will be together, together, together. Our hearts will be together. Swimming in clear water, every son and daughter, we are on a journey. I'm glad that you are near me.
Thank you, Nick Young. Let's give him another hand. That was delightful. Delightful. The next time you're here, I'm going to bring tissues. You brought me tears all the time, man. That's pretty hard to do for me. You know, I'm glad. So let's all together stand up and say the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And know the divine resides within you, as Swami Brahmananda, Swami Brahmananda reminded us. And we'll see you this afternoon, hopefully. Thank you. Go forward and live it.